Suzuka, the home of the Japanese Grand Prix and one of the most challenging circuits in the world. The setup is a key component to mastering this circuit, so if you feel your car is unstable, ensure you fine-tune your setup first. In this video, we shall take you corner by corner to explain exactly how to get each corner right, and then we shall see a lap at full speed driven by a professional esports driver. The professional lap is a 1 minute 25.833. If you want to analyse your driving to find out how you can improve around Suzuka, you can get 30 days of unlimited data insights for free when you sign up to Track Titan with the code JAPAN24. So enough of the waffling, let's dig in. Into turn 1, begin turning at the access road, avoid the apex curb, and once you reach the end of the curb, use progressive braking to 60% pressure before trail braking to the apex of turn 2. Keep with the same steering lock, being careful not to let the car understeer wide. Get down to 5th gear and 175 km/h minimum speed before you begin accelerating as you reach the apex curb. Run right over the exit curb to open the steering as much as possible. Into turn 3, angle the car to the middle of these two structures sticking up from the pit building and begin turning into turn 3 when you hit the edge of the track on this line. Drive right up to the curb, positioning the left wheel almost on the grass, and as soon as the car is aimed towards the apex of turn 4, quickly lift off the throttle to 90%, keep turning until you're aiming at the edge of the grandstand, and then flick the car into the corner. Go to 50% throttle and around 25% brake pressure to scrub off speed. Drive the car right to the curb of turn 4, again almost putting the wheel on the grass, and gradually go back to 100% throttle. Your minimum speed through this section will be 225 km/h in 6th gear. Let the car run a little bit away from the exit curb of turn 4 and keep turning until almost the middle of the track before flicking the car and lifting off to 70% throttle into the apex. Use all of the curb and begin letting the car run wide once you reach the concrete patch. Let the car run right to the grass on exit. Into turn 6, hug the inside curb until around halfway through the corner. Change down to 5th gear, dabbing the brake to 20% as you come down to 30% throttle, and let the car almost run to the exit curb, modulating the throttle in the process. Into turn 7, move the car close to the centre of the track and begin turning in as you go past the end of the exit curb on the left hand side. Slightly lift to 90% throttle and hug the inside white line whilst being careful not to cross the curb. Go back to 100% throttle and open the steering when you see this exit curb. Be sure to use the full exit curb to ensure the car does not get unsettled by turning too sharply. Hug the inside line around the long left-hander to prepare for turn 8. Begin turning at the 50-metre board and lift to 80% throttle. Drive straight over the apex of the curb to minimise steering angle. Ensure your left wheels don't cross the white line in the process. Begin accelerating to 100% throttle just before you hit that curb, and then let the car run right out wide to the exit curb. Into turn 9, begin braking around a car length from the end of the curb and start to turn in fairly early. Trail brake towards the apex, changing down to 4th gear, and be careful not to hit the inside curb as it can throw the car off balance. As you get to the apex, your speed should be around 150 km/h, after which begin accelerating and hold the throttle at around 60% initially until you know the car is settled heading towards the exit curb, at which point you can accelerate to 100% out of the corner. Through turn 10, take a wide entry so you're hugging the inside curb by the end of the corner. Roughly half a second after passing the end of the inside curb, into turn 11, hit the brakes and trail brake to the apex. Change down to 3rd gear and start turning in just as you pass these two lights on the right hand side of the circuit. Once you've hit around 80 km/h, briefly go to 50% throttle from the apex and then modulate the throttle to 100% by the time you reach the exit curb. Hug a tight line through the long turn 12 to prepare for the next corner. Into turn 13, hit the brakes and turn into the corner around half a second after passing the 50-metre braking board. Change down to 5th gear and go to roughly 40% brake pressure before coming off by the apex. Once you've hit a minimum speed of roughly 220 km per hour, you can go to 100% throttle shortly after leaving the apex curb. Let the car run right out to the exit curb, making sure to use all of the curb available to limit steering angle. By the middle of the exit curb, begin turning into the corner and apply around 20% pressure on the brakes whilst the car coasts towards the apex. Slow to around 180 km per hour, and begin accelerating once you see the concrete patch on the inside of the apex curb come into view. Get to around 80% throttle and modulate it to 100% as you let the car run to the exit curb. Through turn 15, use all of the curb and let the car run to the middle of the track. This is to ensure you don't have to violently swing back across the track, potentially scrubbing off speed and losing stability ahead of the final corner complex. Begin braking around a car's length before the 100-meter braking board and trail brake to the apex. Start turning in adjacent to the road on the right-hand side and coast over the curb itself. Change down to 4th gear and then once more to 3rd as you hit the apex with a minimum speed of around 105 km per hour. Take as tight line as you can and be careful not to let the car run wider than around half the track width. Blip the accelerator to around 60% after the apex before coasting once again into turn 17. Position your left wheels on the concrete inside the apex curb and begin modulating the throttle to 100% as you leave the curb itself. Let the car run right to the exit curb, but not over, as the distance from where you hit the curb to where the grass is will not be enough to swing the car back onto the tarmac in time. From there, hug the line and avoid this small patch of grass before coming back across to the inside line through turn 18 and down towards the line to complete the lap. Don't forget you can analyse your own lap against this when you sign up to Track Titan. 30 days unlimited data insights for free with the code JAPAN24. So now that we've seen how we do it, let's put it all together and show what the full lap looks like. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video and found it useful too. Don't forget the code JAPAN24 when you sign up to get 30 days for free, but until next time, drive safe and race with respect.